Hey everybody. So yeah, I'm doing this while we're going home, but whatever. So we're gonna do this. I think it's a two-parter. I'm gonna try to wrap this all up in about 7 minutes, so I have about 7 or so for the next phase. So this one is going to be two things. Let me get out of his way. Is driving a dump truck affordable? Can you make a living doing it? So, and the second part is going to be the accounting side of it, as far as software to pick. Should you get an accountant or a bookkeeper? Should you try to do it yourself? That kind of thing. So this first part, is it affordable? So can you make money? I have been out on my own now for 4.5 years. In November, officially, I started in October of 21, and in November 24th of 21 is when my business, I was licensed. I have my DOT number. I have an EIN number, and that's a very important thing we'll cover probably another time, is getting all your paperwork right. So, and all that is part of that. Is this affordable? Can you do it? Because registration, insurance, all that is expensive. So let's start with the insurance. I have, my insurance fluctuates depending on who I'm working with. Right now, I have like $1 million in aggregate, $2 million in general liability, $3 million in some other. There's a lot. So I got about $7 million worth of insurance. Put it that way. Okay. So what's that cost? Well, it costs a hell of a lot. I'm getting my insurance, and I don't know if it's the best deal, but it's the best that I've been able to find here. Now, different locations might be a little bit different, but I'm paying roughly about $2,600 every 6 months for my company's liability insurance and my dump truck's insurance, like for the road and ag and that kind of stuff, for accidents. I actually have in my policy, if I get into an accident, my fault or not, I get about $22,000 worth of truck rental. When my truck got hit by one of the other dump truck companies here a couple of years ago, I learned really quick that that was a very important thing to have, as I spent 2 months without any work. If I had that, I could have jumped right back into it, not missed a day of work by driving a rental truck. Yeah, there's a couple rental trucks here. It would be, probably I'd have to jump on it, pretty quick to get it, but it's possible. So that's another part of coverage. But so with the insurance, your tires, your fuel, paying yourself, which is something I haven't had a chance to do a lot this year because it just hasn't been that busy for me. I'm a one truck operation, and all these other companies are more than one truck. They're a lot of trucks, and they're coming from California with a whole bunch of trucks that they're already, and so they have more diversity. They have super dumps and end dumps and side dumps and all that other crap, belly dumps. I don't have that diversity. Not yet. I will eventually, but not yet. So what's a typical day like? Well, depending on what I'm hauling, like today. Today was all truck time. I paid for, well, no, I take that back. One of my deliveries was me paying for beach sand, what they use here for beach sand, because we don't have any beaches here really. So it's stuff that they make. Basically, it's mortar sand. So, but the other, I did 5 deliveries today. One of them was quite a ways to get to it and then go deliver it and get back. But so I had 5. Today was almost a 14. So you take out quarter of tank of fuel, $4.70 a gallon. So you can figure that up. I paid $300 for fuel today. So take that off the top. So that leaves me with a little over $1,000, right? Almost $1,100. So I figure about 30% for wear and tear on the vehicle. I don't have any payments. My truck is paid for. That helps. I pay cash for my truck. So I figure about 30% goes to the truck. That's for repairs, tires, maintenance, oil changes, which I do all that myself. I do a lot of that myself. I'm about to go buy an air compressor, and I'll start being more mobile. I have a trailer that I bought from my parents, my mom and stepdad, and I'm going to turn that into my workhorse. So that's going to carry my toolbox, air compressor, generator. I'm eventually going to get a small welder. My son's going to teach me how to weld. I've never done that before. But all of those things are going to have to be part of what I make per day. Doing it myself, tires and all that, makes it cheaper. I can buy the tires for several $100s less than what I can go to a store like Commercial Tire or Les Schwab, buy a tire, have them put it on. The last time I did that, my 8 drive tires was $3,490. I could buy those same drive tires or similar drive tires like that through my nephew and spend $400 about per tire. $400 per tire is a lot less than what I've been paying. Actually, I can get them. I think I can get them cheaper than that, even around $360, $370, depending on what brand I get. My trailer tires have been $400. The one tag tire. Sorry, my phone mount fell off the fucking window. I'm getting really tired of that. It's supposed to be one of those really big, things. Obviously, you guys saw it in the video. It popped off. But anyway. So anyway, doing your own tires is a savings. Doing your own oil changes is a huge savings. I'm going to get to where I'm going to have a buddy of mine. When I got some brakes I need to get done, but I got to get that air compressor and the lug good and a torque wrench or torque wrench, so I can torque my tires to my lug nuts to the right torque specs. Make sure I get it right. Eventually I'll be doing my own tires, like repairs or swap outs or whatever. I'm going to try and get another wheel for the drives and another wheel and tire for the steer tires. The steer tires, maybe not so much, but the drives and my trailer tires, I have extra wheels for the trailer. So I'll be able to swap those out myself and be able to get them mounted or mount them myself at some point. So again, all this figures into what your day. So today was a little lower than normal. I've had a couple of days that were, actually I've had more than a couple, obviously, but I have days that are more than $2,000 or $3,000 days, depending on what I'm doing and what rock I'm selling or what I'm doing for a customer. I've got one just the other day that was, the job I was doing yesterday. I've been out there, God, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 days. I've done work out there at different times, maybe even more than that. And most of those are, $1,100, $1,200 days. So like I said, take 30% of that for the truck, all the maintenance and all that. And then, I pay myself, or try to pay myself. It comes out to about $35 an hour. I'm not here to get rich. Yeah, I want to make money, but yeah, I want to be successful. You got to figure in breakdowns too. So I take another probably 20%, sometimes 15, just depending on how busy I am. If I'm busy and I'm hopping, I take 20%. So we're at 50% to the truck, because 20% I'll put away for repairs and maintenance and that kind of, repairs that surprise breakdowns. Air compressor, fucking not cheap. Uh, if I would have had to get one right away, there was one on the shelf at Cat, but they wanted, $1,200-$1,300 for it. So there's that. So that leaves me 50%. That other 50% is what the company makes. That's what I put away for rainy days and whatever. That's kind of what you need. You need to put a good chunk of money away. But that pays for tools and office supplies. That pays for my bookkeeper, accountant, that kind of deal. So I can make a good week, in reality, is about $5,200 a week is a pretty good week for a single truck. My rates right now are, I think, about, compared to everybody else, I'm a little lower, which is fine. So is it affordable? If you don't have a truck that breaks down all the time and you're not constantly fixing it, yes, it's extremely affordable. Can you make money doing it? Hell yes. I've been doing this for somebody else for so long that I know how they're making their money. And it was maybe not the correct timing when I got started, being in November. Here it gets wintertime and it slows down, but I got the jump, and I dragged a couple of their customers with me. So can you afford it? You bet. Can you make really good money doing it? Yeah. If you manage your money well, if you're easy on your truck, if you not hot rodding it, if you're not, breaking down all the time, if you're going to a shop, like, they range anywhere from $140 to $180 an hour for shop labor. Yeah. Did I do that at first? Yeah, because I don't have the know-how or mechanical know-how. I didn't have the tools to do a lot of that. Now I'm gaining that knowledge, and I'm buying the tools. And a buddy of mine who's a mechanic, I've talked about him many times, Eric, tells me, you need this, you need that. This is what I've got. This is what you should get. This is how you do it. Like when we did that yoke a couple weeks ago, he showed me, these are the tools you need. This is how easy it was. It would have been easy for me to do had I had the correct tool. If I'd have had my air compressor already, if I'd have had my air gun, smaller air gun, if I'd had the correct socket to do it, I could have changed it. It didn't take him very long. 15 minutes, he pretty much was done. So, yeah. On a busy year, if I'm running hard, I can gross about $350,000, $370,000 a year. And that's not working some of the time in the winter, because winters are pretty rough. It's not exactly, get out of this cop's way, man. Exactly a good time to figure you're going to do a whole lot. Now you can get into snow removal and that kind of thing. Winters are tough. This last winter was fucking miserable. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. It was a bitch. Working on a couple of things with some other people, maybe doing something a little different. We'll see how this works. But hopefully that my 5-year plan, I might have a partner in the 5-year plan, but I don't care. That 5-year plan will create more money, more opportunity, and more of that hopefully coming soon. Anyway, so I'm gonna end this here. Is it trucking affordable? Yes. Can you make a good living doing it with just one truck? Yes. Can you make a hell of a lot better living with more than one truck? If you hire the right people and get the right people to take care of your equipment, absolutely yes.